Hey everybody, it's Dee Dee. I'm back again, and I'm here today to do a junk journal video. So this is a quick and easy way of doing a junk journal without having to sew. Now, of course, the sewing technique, of course, gives a different kind of polished look, but this particular way of doing a journal I like. I learned how to do this in an art class that I took online. And this was a quick and easy way to make just a small journal out of only paper, because you can do this out of, just regular like A4 paper like this if you want, or using maybe watercolor paper and then adding a few watercolor paper sleeves inside. It's very easy to do. So what I'm going to be doing is something a little bit more elaborate, but it's still easy to do. So I am going to be using this Amazon envelope. I'm going to use this bag, which is an old tea shop bag from when I went tea shopping a while ago. I've got my paper that I'm going to put inside of this journal. Now this paper is particular. So I've got a mix of craft paper, which I love using this, which is 125 grams or 55 pounds if you're in the US. And I like this paper because you can do all of these things. You can paint, you can draw, you can use ink, you can literally do everything with these pages. So I'm using the A4, and I have folded all of these sheets, these A4 sheets, in half, just like that. And I have here one regular paper. I have here one kind of construction paper. It's a bit thick. And I have these papers, which I have tea dyed, and they're fantastic because they smell like tea, and I absolutely love them. So those are the papers that I'm going to be using in the journal. Okay, now how do we get started? So first, we're going to take this one. Get my scissors out. And what I'm going to do is I've marked off here where I need to cut, because I want the journal to be about the same length, same height as the paper. Not exactly, but close enough. So I've drawn a line here, more or less. I think it goes on this second line right here. So that's where I'm going to cut the journal. So I'm going to do it. Well, first I'm going to cut this. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to cut this off right here. Because we don't need that. So we're going to get that off. And I'm going to keep that extra paper because you never know. This is great paper to use for doing collage. Now, this part up here, I'm going to cut straight across. There we go. I'm going to keep that as well. So there we have one side open. Now we just have to have this side open. So I'm just going to cut straight across. Try to be careful when I'm cutting, not to get it too off the track. Okay, I might have to use my, there we go. Okay. So now we have, let me just kind of make sure this is a little bit more even and less problematic on the edges there. like that. Okay, that's better. Okay, so just so we can see, it's more or less the size. Like it's perfect, because I don't want it to be exactly the size, because you never know. I might want to push the paper up and down, you know, and I don't want it to be too exact. Now, the other thing is I have to cut this off as well, but I think what I'm going to do is maybe not cut this one as close, because I could cut it just right down the middle like this, which is probably a possibility. But what I'll probably do is I will probably just push it up a little bit like this, and then I'll take a pencil and I'll run it along here like this. And then I'm just going to cut right down the side like that. And I'm cutting both sides. So I don't have to cut it again. And they'll be exactly the right size that I need. There. Okay, so if I open it up and I put this inside, let's see. So I have a little bit left over here. And what I might do is I think I might cut it just a smidgen more, like maybe half of this. So let me see if I can't. I have to do it on this side because the struggle with the other side. So I think I might just go down the middle again. Okay, let me just make sure this is straight. Like this. There we go. All right, now I'm going to cut this again. Now, keep in mind, if you do it with paper, then you don't have to struggle as much as I'm struggling with this. I have to tear that off. If you're just doing it with paper, it goes a lot easier. But I want it to be a journal that has a bit more stiffness to it. Okay, now, so we have our journal. And now what we have to do is we have to make some tabs. And the tabs are gonna be what holds the paper inside of the journal. Now I'm taking this off because that's going to get bulky if I put my paper on top. So there we have it. It's nice and clean. It's nice. Okay, let me just see. So you see there, the size is okay. So even if I have some bits that hang over a little bit, it's no problem. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make tabs. Now, in order for the paper to hold, I only need 2 tabs. I need one that goes on this side and I need one that goes on this side. Now, the thing is not to do it too close to the bottom or too close to the top. And being that this is a small journal, let's say we need maybe, let's see, we can do maybe 3.5 centimeters. 3.5 centimeters. Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're not going to do it too close. So this is the middle. So I'm going to measure, let's say, because this is, the total is 20. So let's say we do 3 centimeters. So I'm going to do 3 centimeters. I'm going to stop here. And we're going to do 3 centimeters. And we're going to stop there. Now, what I have to do is decide how thick I want my tabs to be. I don't need the tabs to be super thick. So let's say we're going to do, let's say we're going to do 2 centimeters. Here, wait, let me do it like this. 3 centimeters. Yeah, that's good. And then here we're going to do 3 centimeters. All right, now we're going to have, I need my triangle for this. So we need 1 tab going out this way. And 1 side going out this way. All right, and then on this side, we're going to do one tab going out this way. Whoopsie. 1 tab this way. And we're going to do 1 tab going out this way. All right, now what I have to do is, let's see, I need my tracing board. This will help me do it straighter, because we need to make sure that when we make the, when we do the, let's see if I can make it, maybe I can do it like this. Like that. So it's right on the line, so it's straight. This is right on the line, so it's straight. And then we have like this. So let's see. It's gonna be like this. So we do 1, 2, 3. And I move this up. And I do 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I move here. And I do 1, 2, 3. And up, I ran out of room. So that's how you use it to make a T if you don't have one. It's an easy way to make a T. Okay, now you make sure that this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can just draw. We can kind of draw a line there. And then here we have the same. Just make sure it's about the right size. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, this one went over just a smidgen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a line right there so that I know where to stop. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So this one, I just have to draw the line right across. Like this. Okay, now, next what I need to do is I need to cut the tab without cutting the seam. So I'm going to take my ruler I'm going to do it like this. It's probably a little easier. And I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut my tabs out. And I'm going to cut across like this. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that I went all the way through. And I did. There we have a tab. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut around. And I'm going to make sure because I don't want to have any extra hanging out. All right, so now I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to cut. Let's see, did I cut it enough? Yes. Okay, so these are the tabs that are going to hold the paper into the journal, and that's what makes it really easy, and you don't have to sew or staple or anything like that. You just simply have to place the paper over and you're ready to go. Now, what we first have to do is we have to figure out how we want to have this decorated on the outside. So I've decided to use the tea shop paper from this bag. And in order to do that, one side fits perfectly on this side and the other side will be perfect for the inside. Since we're doing junk journal, you know, we're keeping some of it junk. The only thing that isn't completely junk are the inside papers. So in order to do this, I'm going to have to cut this bag up. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these handles. Who knows? We might use those later. I don't know. Might not. If we don't use them on this one, we're going to keep them because we might use it on something else. Because these are nice little twisted dark green handles. Okay, so now we have the bag like this. So what I'm gonna do is cut around like that. I might even do better. I might like cut like this and like this so that I have a bit more extra paper when I start to glue it onto. I should go like this, yeah. And then on this side, the same. Okay. So now let's see if I can just get to the middle of this bag. I'm going to go there and I'm just going to cut down the middle like this. All right. So I'm going to pull that off like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So we have, so now we have excess paper. So we have to decide, I think what we'll have to do is, because this side has the thing with the, handles. So I'm gonna probably do it a little bit like this so it'll be easy to fold, but we got to be careful and make sure that once we cut the bag, that we will be able to, that I'll be able to fold it with no problem. See, because I don't want to have to fold this here in the middle of the handles. That's just messy and it's difficult to deal with. So I think if I do this, and then I have to also make sure that it closes. Now, being that this is this color, I have some options. I can either cut these squares out through the paper, or I can leave them like this. So I'm not sure. I think what I might do is leave them like this just so that it has a different look. I don't necessarily want it to be completely uniform. Wait, let me see. Maybe this side might be, let's see, it might be a little better. No, this side will be better. Okay, so if I move this up, I glue this here. I push this over and I glue this over. I'm gonna have to glue it like this, and I can glue like that. I think that's what it's gonna have to be like. So it doesn't really matter about it having a thick side here and a thin side there, because I'm gonna put another sheet on the inside to cover it, so we will not see that. So I think that's what I will do. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So first what I'm gonna have to do is get some glue out, and I'm gonna push these in like this. And I am going to glue to the best of my ability. I don't even know if I have enough glue in here anymore. Okay, I do have some. I'm gonna glue. I'm kind of putting a lot because the paper is quite thick, this paper bag. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna glue like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue this part as well, but I need to glue under here. At the end of the glue. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get out another thing of glue. I have a big one here that I need to refill. So I'm gonna refill the glue. And this glue that I have is called I Love Art transparent glue. It comes in a big giant thing, and I just simply have to pour it into another container. It's huge. Look, it's like this. It's huge. Best buy that I ever made because it is cheap. I think it's 5 liters for 15 euros. So money well spent. All right. So now what I need to do is continue to glue this on. But I've got to wait for this to kind of adhere to the other one. So now I'm going to take, let's see, I've got it, that's my glue right there. Now I'm going to use this paintbrush to get the glue on. So I'm going to put this transparent glue like this. I'm going to put that like that. Now, if worse comes to worse, I may have to put some clips so that as it dries, you know, it has something holding it down. But I'm just gonna add some glue here. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to put clips there. So let's see, I do have some glue here. So I'm gonna put clips here, clip here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do clip here. And I'll just add another clip here. Okay. All right, now, just so that, let's see, here we go. I need to cut this out. There we go. So I can either opt to glue that like that, which is a possibility, or I can just cut it off completely. So that's up to whatever you want to do aesthetic wise, because once the journal is made, you'll see that this little square could be something you could put stickers there, or you could put a letter there, like initials or something like that. So it's up to you if you want to keep it, or if you want to, I might keep it. I might glue that together because that's kind of cool looking like that. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. So in that case, since I'm going to keep it, then I need to glue that down. So let's put a little bit of glue here. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more glue here too. Okay. All right. All right, so you've got these two are glued. Now, to wait a little bit to see if we can get this to glue down, because it is a paper bag that's kind of thick. So having to wait for it to glue down is, you got to be patient. I'm going to put that on there again. And then make sure here. Okay, so we gotta make sure here that it glues down correctly, with the idea that eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to flip this over as well. Let's see. This one is going to be a minimum flip over here. And flip that over like that. And what I'll probably do is trim this. So let's see. I'm going to trim it like this. And on this side, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to trim it a little bit as well. There we go. Okay, now, we're going to glue that a little bit as well. I'm going to try to glue, let's do this side because it seems to be more cooperative. So we're going to glue this side down as well. Okay. So now I'm going to go like this. I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to have to hold a little bit because, yeah, it's going to take a minute for this to glue down properly. Here, I put a little bit too much glue, so it is kind of running out. But as a whole, it doesn't look too bad. That's how it looks on the tea shop bag side, which I think looks really good with the leaves. I think it's pretty cool looking. Okay, so now let's do this side. Let me see if I have any more. I do have some more clips because I'm going to need it on this side a lot more than the other side. Because this side, wait, let me just see if I can prepare it to be folded. Let's see. There we go, like this. Oh, wait. Yes. This is perfect. There we go. Okay. Let me see. I have a paper clip here. There we go. All right, so let's try to glue this side as well. There we go. We're going to try to glue this side as well. Oh, yeah, this one's definitely going to need paper clips because, yeah, it's going to be a struggle to get this to stay. Oh, wait. Over here. Good thing I have a lot of clips because this is what I recommend if you have, you know, a problem because your bag is very thick, like this bag. Then in order to do this, you're gonna need clips so that you can hold it down so that the glue will adhere the two pieces of paper together. I feel like I might need a bit more glue on this side as well, but I'm gonna hold it like this for a minute. And eventually it should start to adhere and dry. Now this glue that I'm using is quite liquidy. So this is one of the reasons why it might take a minute. Now the thing is, I maybe should have put a little less glue, but since I'm using a paintbrush, I can't really control it that much. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to put something here as well. Now, while we're doing that, waiting for that, we're going to take our paper that I folded up, the mixed tea paper, craft paper, tea dyed paper, and one construction paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure. I'm going to have to wipe this because it's driving me nuts. What we're going to have to do is measure for example, if I take the folded piece of paper and I put it here in the middle, you can see what I need to measure is this. So I need to put a mark here and a mark here. That is the mark for the flaps. A mark here and a mark here for the flaps. Now, what I can do is use that and go back here and kind of mark it. You can mark it like this, or you can do every single one. Let's see if I can. There's one that's sunken down. Okay, let's see if I can do it like this. Okay, now you see I have the mark here, 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 and here for the flaps. Now, what I can do is I can just take like a piece of paper like this and just put it around like that and then just mark it like this. Or I can be cautious and just mark each one at a time. That then gives me the possibility to judge how far up or down I want it if the paper is not exactly the width of the cardboard. So I usually do it like that. I'm going to have to wait for all this to dry. And when it's dry, I'll come back and I'll mark each one separately so you can see. Because it's very important that when you're marking them, that you mark them correctly, because you're going to be fitting the paper down over these flaps. So if you've not got them cut correctly or measured correctly, it's not going to be good for you. It's going to be a mess. So I'm going to let this dry. And when it's dry, I'm going to come back and finish the rest of the journal. Okay, so I'm back. I'm taking the clips off gently, like so. Now, I can fold it, and that's what you have to do when you're waiting for it to dry. Try to fold it and make sure that you have room for it to be folded, because, you know, you don't want to be too tight on the exterior. Now, I'm going to be using another A4 craft sheet to put on top and to be like the inside finishings of the junk journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half like so. And I've put it, I'm going to have the shinier side on the top like this. So I'm going to turn it around. And let me see if I can get this, because this is still hanging around there. Now, what I'm going to do is take my pencil, put my paper right in there. I've put it at the level that I want it, which is kind of sort of in the middle. And I'm going to mark here and here, here and here. Now, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to make slits down the middle line, the middle seam. There. And then this one. There we have it. So I'm making it down the middle seam like that. Now we'll see if I did it well or if I need to cut it a bit more. Yeah. Let's see if this one works as well. There we go. Down the middle seam like so. It's going to be like that and like that. Now what I have to do now is glue all of this. So back again with the glue. I'm going to try to make it a bit thin. So it's not. There we go. See if I can put a little bit more down this part right here. There we go. It's nice and clean. And I'm going to do the same on this side as well. I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to do it along here. Okay, so we're going to glue that like that. I might need to put just a little bit on the edges because the edges are stubborn. If you don't put it right on the edge, no ma'am, it's not gluing. I'm going to put that on there like that. And then put a little bit more on this part too. There we go. We're going to put that like that. And we're going to put this like this. Now, there we go. So this is now completely covered and you have your tabs. So now it's the easy stuff. This part, super easy, and the journal is almost done. So, as a precaution, I'm going to try to fold it again. Now, with the idea you see here, I have a little issue with folding it because the paper is kind of buckling there. So, I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to push it up more like this. Yeah, might be a little better. And then let's see if I can fold it this time. or if it's going to cause me an issue. Might cause me a little bit of an issue there. So I might have to be insistent on that part right there so that it will fold when I need it. So I might have to get it to dry a little bit before I actually... Okay, so there's just going to be an issue there a little bit. Let's see. Did I make it work? Yeah, it's better. Okay. So I'm going to put this back on for precaution because I want it to dry. Now, it's going to be a little wrinkly here, but I'm not mad at it being wrinkly because it is craft paper, and this is a paper bag on the exterior, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think I'm going to do it on this like this for the cover. So now, what are we going to do? Now we are going to take our paper. And like I said, we're going to put it here. And then I'm going to mark where I need to make the slit. And once that's done, we'll really be ready to go. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to come back when I'm finished marking. Okay, so now we finished that. So we're going to put this on the side to dry. And now we're going to do our cutting by making sure we wind up on the seam, gently cut from one dot to the next on the seam. Because it doesn't look like it's going to. Let me see. This one I might have to cut a little bit in a weird way because I think this one. Let's see if that worked. Yeah. Because this one, to cut it, it's very fragile. That's the tea dye paper. All right, so we're going to try just one last one. Okay. All right, now we're going to bring our book back. I'm going to see if the ends are laying down, which they look like they are. And so now we're going to figure out in what order we want all this paper. I want it to be a little bit different. However, I'm going to put it in there with the hopes that I have, see, this is a little nasty right here. Oh, anyway, we're going to make it work. Otherwise, we'll take it out. This one, I think I might put somewhere in the middle because it's shorter. Okay, now, so this is what you're going to do. So you put it, like this is going to be my front and this is going to be my back. And you see, you have a little window here and you have a little window here. But these are your tabs, so these are going to be decorated. And they're decorated like the bag. So now we're going to put this one in. There we go, well cut. So that worked. This one's a little bit short. Must have not cut it that well. Wait, let me see if I can put it in again. Oh, it worked. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, this is the second one. No worries. We won't see that so much because it'll be like this. So it worked out okay. I don't know if I'll be able to put all of these sheets in, but I'm sure I'm going to try. Oopsie. Okay, so we have all of the paper there. It looks pretty good. And now what you're going to do is you're going to glue the tabs back like this. And these tabs are going to hold the paper in. So I'm going to put some glue on this one. And I'm going to put some glue on this one. Now, the problem with this is I'm going to have to hold it down while it kind of glues a little bit. These are the tabs that hold your paper into your junk journal. And you're basically done. So you can add whatever you want. If you want to add, how do you say, decorative things on the outside, you can. You can add, you know, something decorative here or something decorative there. You could even add, for example, you could add this like this and make it look like a book that you could carry. Even though I've glued this down already, I could still add this. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a decorative thing with this, and maybe put it on the outside if I can make it work. Let's see if I can make it, you know, into like a kind of circular fashion. And if I can, what I'll do is I'll make it like look like a flower or something, and then I'll put it, I will glue it like here on the front of the journal, or maybe here, and put another one there, something like that maybe. And then I'll make another one with this one that I'll either put on the back or just put two on the front. So this is what it looks like. You open it up and you have your journal. All of your papers in there, whatever kind of paper you want. And it's the tabs in the middle that are holding the journal together. So you don't have, this is what holds the journal together. So you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I don't have a big stapler. Oh my gosh, I don't really want to sew. I don't really like sewing. Well, here you go. This is what I do. This is fast, easy way. You can even add a pocket on the back if you want. Like I said, add string to close however you want. I'm going to not put a closure because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I may do some collage in here, and if that happens, it's going to get very big. So that is all I have for you today. This is the quick, easy junk journal. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if this helps you to be able to make junk journals, you know, easily, because I know sewing is sometimes a bit much for people. I do like the sewing look as well, but I like this too. And this can be made, like I said, on a very easy scale. Sometimes I make them to just do quick sketches with only like 5 or 6 sheets in them, and I make it like really small. You can make it as big as this or as big as this. See this one, I put little stickers here in the little squares. This is a bigger one that I made. This one is done with craft paper that's a bit bigger. So yeah, so there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this. Let's talk about it below, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye bye.